There are nights when your body is completely exhausted, but your mind refuses to stay quiet. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, letting hundreds of imaginary fears swallow your peace. In his book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Dale Carnegie once said that worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it only saps today of its strength. Modern life rarely lets our minds rest. Messages, work, pressure, expectations, it all piles up so much that sometimes we don't even realize we are completely burned out. The scariest part is that anxiety doesn't just stay in your head. It creeps into your sleep, your breath, your stomach, silently making you feel weary of your own life. What makes this book special is that it wasn't built on distant theories. Carnegie listened to thousands of real people, those who were once desperate, lost, and crushed by fear. And then he realized a profound truth: peace doesn't appear when life becomes perfect. It appears when the mind stops fighting everything that happens around it. One of Carnegie's most famous principles is live in day-tight compartments. Do not drag the past back, and do not live ahead of the future for too long. Life is like an hourglass. We can only go through one single grain at a time. Yet so many people try to carry both yesterday and tomorrow on their shoulders at once. When a crisis strikes, Carnegie introduces the famous formula of Willis Carrier. Calmly ask yourself, what is the absolute worst that could honestly happen? The moment you dare to look directly at what you fear, the panic begins to fade. And that very acceptance opens up the ability to change the situation with a clear mind. Carnegie noticed that worry thrives most when people are completely idle. A mind with no direction will inevitably create internal battles within itself. Sometimes, just diving into a small task, taking a walk, tending to plants, or learning something new will gradually guide your mind out of the cage of anxiety. So many things we fear have never actually happened. That's why Carnegie advises that before you panic, check the actual probability of the issue. Most of the tragedies we imagine exist only in our heads. Sadly, we often suffer deeply over things that will never even arrive. There are things in life that the more we resist, the more painful they become. Carnegie teaches that sometimes peace begins by letting go of the fight against the unchangeable. What is done is done. We cannot repair yesterday by continuing to hurt ourselves in the present moment. Many spend their entire lives worrying about what others think of them. But Carnegie reminds us that unjust criticism is often a disguised compliment, showing you are standing out. Many spend their entire lives worrying about what others think of them. But Carnegie reminds us that unjust criticism is often a disguised compliment, showing you are standing out. Carnegie places special emphasis on fatigue. When the body runs out of energy, every problem in your head instantly feels magnified many times over. Sometimes, what you need is not to push harder, but to give yourself permission to rest completely free of guilt. Perhaps the greatest realization this book leaves us with is this: it's the exact same life, but the way we choose to think about it can turn it into hell or absolute peace. Instead of constantly staring at what is missing, Carnegie urges us to learn to appreciate the beautiful things that quietly exist around us every single day. One major cause of human suffering is trying to be someone else. True relief only comes when you stop fighting against your own unique self. And strangely enough, when you start caring, helping, and bringing comfort to others, the heavy aches within your own heart begin to melt away. For decades, this book has helped millions break free from the downward spiral of overthinking through principles that are wonderfully simple yet practical. Perhaps the reason this masterpiece endures is not because it promises to change your life instantly, but because it makes your mind feel lighter, step by step. And who knows, maybe tonight, after so many exhausting days, you will finally allow yourself to sleep peacefully without fearing tomorrow.